Guys, it's a beautiful morning on the farm. Now, if you do remember, earlier on at the beginning of the year, I shared a video where we had goals for 2024. And one of the goals was to have 7,500 chickens in production. That means 7,500 chickens laying eggs for us, because that's going to take us places. Of course, money-wise especially. So right there at the bottom, you can see that's a chicken house that we already had with about 2,500 chickens that are laying. Now right here, we have another chicken where I actually shared videos, shared everything about this chicken house. I shared the construction of the chicken house and the moving of the birds into this chicken house. So right now that the birds are inside here, guys, the birds finally started to lay. The birds started to lay and they are dropping eggs on the inside of that chicken house, yeah? So we're going to move in, guys, and I'm going to show you around. We're already on our way to making 7,500 laying chickens. This would make it 5,000, and as you might already know, we already have another batch which is in brooding right now. Currently, as these birds have just started laying, it's about a week old. So that means very soon we shall have 7,500 chickens in laying. I'll bait for a short time because that flock, by the time the youngest flock goes into production, that flock right there will be quite old and it's almost being culled, so we'll have to get it out. But by the end of this year, we shall still have 7,500 chickens in production. So come on, let's go in. I'm going to show you guys exactly what's happening inside the chicken house. We're going to use the top since it has a bit more light and you guys will enjoy it better. So come on, let's go in. First, we'll take the ramp. Okay, so we need to disinfect our gumboots as usual. Take our ramp and then we'll get right through to the top. Here we go, guys, here we go. So these are our brand new babies, the ones that are laying eggs, okay? And you can hear the sound they are all making. I'll just keep quiet for a minute. That is the sound of chickens that are laying eggs, okay? Those chickens, and when you come closer, take a look at them. You can see their combs, they are beautiful, they are red and nice. That means they are ready to start laying. Actually, a lot of them are laying, yeah? We are already at about maybe 5% in terms of laying production, yeah? So they are laying very, very beautifully. And as you can hear, the louder you speak, the louder they also speak, because speaking draws their attention, yeah? It certainly draws their attention. So as you can see, it's morning. Look at this, guys, look at this. When you get close to them, you know, they all get very docile. You know, take a look at that, you know, just take a look at that. Take a look at that, take a look at that. That means that these birds are actually about to start laying or already laying. So the biggest percentage of the chickens inside here is actually laying eggs. Take a look at the feed. So this is the feed that we are giving them. It's mashed feed, yeah, made up of maize, maize bran. We use the concentrate. That concentrate has mainly soya cake, other minerals, other nutrients inside it, you know, vitamins, salts and things like that, together with limestone. So that's what mainly makes up this that you can see right here. And then inside here, these are the laying boxes where the chickens have started to lay eggs. So since just a few of them are laying, we might not be able to see a few eggs right now. Maybe I'll come back a little later on and show you guys some of the eggs, yeah? Maybe I'll try to move around and see if we might pick some eggs at the moment. Well, it looks like we don't really have eggs, but you can see all the chickens. Take a look at all the chickens. All the chickens are following me. All of them, they're just following me. They're just enjoying moving around with me. Take a look at this, guys. Take a look at this. Take a look at it. Guys, take a look at that. All the chickens are just moving around and following me. So yeah, this is their chicken house. These are the laying boxes. Again, when I look inside here, I can't see eggs, yeah, but they are laying. This section at the top here, yesterday laid about 70 something eggs. So I know that by the end of the day, we're actually going to have quite a number of eggs inside here, yeah. So if we move right here, let's test out this other laying box too. Again, I can't seem to see any eggs, but we'll come back. It's still quite early in the morning. It's 7 a.m. By around 9 a.m., we should have eggs inside the chicken house. And you can see another laying box there, another laying box. There are quite many, but I think they are not sufficient enough. We'll have to get more. And then you can see a colleague right there, yeah. One of the guys, he's actually cleaning the drinkers. And this is part of the routine of the farm, yeah. to ensure that the drinkers are clean. As you can see, I'll just move closer to him. Yeah. So the drinkers are automated. The water comes in via a plumbing system, which you can see right here, connected via a connector right here, and it takes the water into the drinker. So we need to make sure that the drinkers are consistently washed, because if they are not washed, let's move to one that's not washed. For example, I'll show you guys. Yeah, you can clearly see this. This is not washed. This has not been washed. And what do you see? Food inside the drinkers. And also, as the chickens scratch and play around with the litter, this litter, some of it picks up and falls inside here. And what that means is that microorganisms can grow inside the water. And when microorganisms grow inside the water, it means that you can get coccidia inside there. And coccidia are microorganisms that enjoy water. They grow inside water, they replicate inside water. So if you don't wash them like he's doing, yeah, you see, this is part of his usual routine, to clean them. Like this one, it has been cleaned and it is very clean. If you don't clean them like this one, it simply means that you can get diseases inside your chicken house, which is not something that we want. So every day, the guys will just move around, clean the drinkers quickly and easily, yeah? Just like he's doing there. And the feed has already been placed. So we place our feed twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, yeah? So not really evening, but in the morning by like 7 a.m. the guys have already placed the food. And then by around midday, 1 p.m., the guys will place the second round of feed inside the chicken house. And that's very important, because earlier on in the morning, you're giving them, of course, they have been fasting throughout the night. We need to make sure that the feeders are empty throughout the night. Because if you leave food inside the feeders in the night, it means that these chickens, when they are exposed to this feed in the morning, they won't want it. Yeah, they don't have this desire, this eagerness to feed. So you kind of like starve them ideally. Make sure that the feeders are empty throughout the night. In the morning, you bring feed in and place in the feed. Then by around midday, that first morning food should be done. Then you give them maybe about 2 hours of empty feeders, and then again give them feed, yeah, to make sure that they have food that they're going to need for the rest of the day in order to form eggs for the next day. Yeah, that's exactly it. So as you can see, there is litter inside the chicken house. All right, I'll pick up some of the litter. This is the litter inside the chicken house. It's well formed. Of course, it has some feathers, since the chickens, you know, when they are flying around and moving, they'll fluff their own feathers, but it has some feathers. But the litter is dry, it is intact, it is enough. Yeah, it's not less than we need, it's not more than we need, it's just enough, it is sufficient. And that ensures that the droppings inside the chicken house don't get very wet. That's number one. But number two, it also ensures that there is proper air inside the chicken house. The chicken house doesn't smell, there's proper aeration, the birds are comfortable while they're living inside the chicken house. So it's finally a few hours later, and it's already time to pick the eggs. So I've come inside with one of my colleagues. I don't know if you guys can see him in the distance. Well, I'll just point towards him, and we've already started picking the eggs. So let me show you guys. Right there, you can see, guys, right here. Yeah. So this is the tray that you can see with the eggs. The eggs are honestly quite small, but as I can see, has already picked 15 eggs inside the chicken house. Remember that we are still at the beginning of our production, so certainly the eggs are going to be quite small. I'll pick out a few of them so that you guys can take a look at them. You can see them compared to our usual size eggs ones from the other birds. These are honestly quite small, but it's understandable since the birds have just started to lay. They will certainly be small, you know. I'll show you guys. You can see one inside there. We'll pick it out, you know. You can see it. So this is what the eggs usually look like. They are small, but the size is very understandable. Yeah, it's very understandable. And we need to pick them quite often to make sure that the birds don't learn how to peck them. So if I pick one of the birds, you can very clearly see, well, picking it might be hard. But take a look at the beaks of the birds. You can see how the beaks were cut, okay? The birds were all debeaked. All their beaks were trimmed to make sure we minimize the chances of breaking the eggs by the chickens pecking on them. Because when the chickens start learning how to eat eggs, that becomes a problem. So you don't want that to also be an issue. But from what I can already see, we are already going to make a tray, because there's quite a number of eggs inside there. You can see there's eggs there, there's eggs, you know, some eggs in this one too. Yeah, and this tray is literally full. So I'm very glad that we finally managed to get some eggs from the chickens, and with time the sizes of these eggs are going to increase and we're going to make a lot of money from these chickens, a lot of money. So a number of years back, when I was starting to farm, I honestly thought I was just doing this as a side hustle. I didn't think at some point it would become something that I take very seriously and pay a lot of attention to, but it has turned out to actually be very fruitful to me. So I don't know what you guys think. If you actually have considerations on starting a farm yourself, let me know in the comment section below. I just want to give you guys an encouragement and let you know that, hey, don't give up. Just put in the effort, keep trying. You can actually make a lot of money farming. You'll face the hard times, but even through the hard times, keep going. You'll be surprised what you can do. And guys, take a look at this egg. Take a look at it. What did they call this shape back in school? I think this is what they called oblong. It's not oval, yeah? You can compare it to the other eggs. For example, I'll pick one from here. Take a look. First of all, take a look at the size difference. These are the usual eggs we are getting at the beginning. They're usually this small. And take a look at how big this one is. But you can see that this is an ovoid shape. And take at this other one, it's oblong, yeah? It looks like a fusion of two eggs. And I can assure you 100% certain that this egg has two yolks on the inside. Actually, we're going to go outside and crack it, yeah? And see, you're going to see that this one has two yolks on the inside. And it's actually a very common occurrence at the beginning of the laying cycle that you find oblong eggs like this with two yolks. Very common. I don't know why it's more common at the beginning of the laying cycle. As the production goes on and you have more months in, these decrease and at some point almost completely stop. But at the beginning, you have a lot of such malformations. I believe this is a malformation. So let's go and crack it, guys. All right, guys, so here is our egg. Let's just crack it open. And you can clearly see the two yolks on each side. One on this side, one on this side. We'll just drop them in. There you go. Two yolks. Very beautiful. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Catch you very soon with another video. Lots of love. Bye-bye.